Hey y'all, what's happening? Jump aboard the Hot Mess Express. I only have one little project. 3 little ones is one full thing for you today, but it's a big old hot mess. So here we go. We're gonna start with them old pumpkins. You know, Dollar Tree has had around forever. I probably have about 100 in my stash. And all these little wood pieces came from the Dollar Tree as well in my stash. Now that little your headstone thingy came from Michael's from last year, but otherwise all of these other little wooden pieces came from Dollar Tree. We're going to do our typical sand them down. We're going to get the labels off the back. I'm going to pull those raffia bows off. I end up also getting the top peduncles out. Anyway, this is just going over some of my colors: plaster, moss, ink. They're all chalk paints, pumpkin, and then we got some silver lining and some clear Elmer's glue, and this is when it goes into Hot Mess Express here. So, and then all those good fun brushes. So we're going to get the labels off, peel the bows off, sand them all down. I won't put you through all that. You know the deal. You know how it goes. Kabam. All right, so got them sanded down pretty good as it's going to get. I'm getting the glue off that one in the middle where the sticker was. Good Lord. Anyway, popped out my peduncles. This is take 1. Hey, yeah. We're going to paint 2 of them black and 1 of them orange. Cappity tap, abracadabra, kapoof. There we go. So I did do backs and fronts and the sides. So 1 of them's orange, 2 of them are black. I went ahead while I had the black out and painted my little kitty black, and I used my pouncer so he looked kind of fuzzy, which later on you really can't tell, but that's okay. We're going to use this clear Elmer's glue. Joanna, with Joanna's DIY Life, my BFF there, she told me that the clear glue works great. It works for her. It doesn't work for me. I can't figure out what works for me. Y'all tell me what I'm doing wrong and you'll understand what I mean by the time we get to take 3 at the end. Okay. So here we are. So I got my clear school glue out and I'm going to just use a brush and I am going to just brush it on. I'm going in the same direction and then I'm instantly going to go to my pumpkin orange paint on top. Oh, I thought I remembered Joanna saying dry it just a little bit so it's tacky. So I did, just a quick little buzz, right? So now I'm getting my orange paint. You should only kind of swipe over it once. I end up swiping over it twice. I'm using quite a bit of paint here. And I should have probably stopped, but you know me, I gotta keep touching things up, you know. Okay, so then I leave it, right? Okay, and then I hit it with my heat gun. And I have these big, huge cracks. And that's like it. That's a thumbs down. That looked horrible. Okay, so now we're going to try it again, right? Okay, I'm thinking this clear school glue was old and was extremely thick. So I put a little bit of water in it to help it spread a little bit better. This does help some. So anywho, I spread this on my other black one. Now this one we're going to cover with moss, okay? I did not hit it with any kind of heat this time. I just went, after I was finished, I just went straight to my moss with a sponge brush this time instead of a regular brush. And I'm just packing that moss on, just getting it all on there. Things are going pretty good. And okay, so let me swipe over it again. And so we'll hit it with the heat gun. This one turns out a little bit better. See, this one's much better. But I don't want the big cracks. I want the little baby teeny tiny cracks. So I'm okay with this one, but just still not happy with the big cracks. I want the little cracks. So the orange one didn't hardly crack at all. This one, I got cracks, but they're too big of cracks. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting there. So we're going to take our orange pumpkin here, and I'm going to hit it with the plaster. And I'm going back to my brush, and I go up and down and sideways. And I'm trying to get kind of as much glue off as you can, because I asked Joanna again. She goes, maybe you're using too much glue. So I said, okay. So I kind of got a lot of the extra glue off, and before I painted it, the pumpkin, I'm letting it dry some, and so I painted my ghost while this one was drying, okay? So I'm now going to paint it. I'm trying to not use a lot of paint either. She said I might have been using too much paint. Very well could have been, because I was slapping that stuff on there. So here we go, all right? And I thought, oh, stop, Sabrina. Stop. Okay. So and then gonna hit it with the heat gun. Okay, I'm just kind of wiping my sides off there because it gets a little sloppy. So up there in the corner, it ain't looking too shabby. Look, I'm all excited. I'm pointing like, look, eek, eek, look. Okay, so this one is going the best, okay? This one looks the best out of all of them. So I did put a very thin layer of glue on. I let it sit while I painted my ghost, and then I used a thinner layer of paint. So that was the best one. But am I happy? No, because I'm looking for that fine line crack. Took silver lining to paint our little tombstone there, headstone. And then I also have some elephant gray and my sponge brush, and I'm not completely covering this. Kind of going around the edges. You can see where there was little cracks kind of at the top and on the side, and I'm making those a little darker. And later on, I can't remember what I put on it. Oh, I used my walnut distressing ink stuff later on to kind of dull down that still bright silver lining stuff kind of there in the middle. And I'm kind of still playing with the elephant here, outlining the edges, kind of stamping it. I'm trying to give it that old gray stone, tombstone, headstone look, right? You get me? You feel me? Okay. So here's our 3. I'm not happy. So I've decided this is day number 2. Take 2, right? Okay, so this is why you guys only have the one project, because it took me like 4 days to do this. So we're going to paint them again. So 2 black and 1 orange. But I left the other side alone because I thought, well, at least maybe it looks like a little bit of something on the other side. Okay, and not totally bland. Now I've got a new clear bottle of school glue out. I got rid of the other one because it was thick and chunky. Okay, Joanna said she used her finger. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the clear glue on, and I'm going to use my finger to spread that around. I go up and down, I go sideways, and again, I'm going to take my finger to try to get a lot of that extra glue off, because I'm thinking, you know, what Joanna's saying is thinner the layer, the better it'll go. I even take my little brush here and I go both ways, up and down, side to side. I'm trying to get a lot of that extra glue off, just a thin layer of glue. So I did that to all 3 of them. I went ahead and let them sit. I just let all 3 of them sit. I put glue on all 3 of them. Now, after they have sat for just like a minute or 2 after getting all 3 of them done, I took my finger and I swirled them around all over to give it a swirly kind of thing, right? And then I hit them with the heat gun just a little, just to kind of make it tacky. See, I'm feeling if it's tacky. Okay. Yeah, I think I made it too tacky. So we're going back with a brush. See how tacky it was? I moved it when I tried to paint it. So now I'm going back on with globs and globs of paint, which I should not have done. And using my paintbrush here. And yeah, I think I got the glue too dry this time. I had the right amount, but I let it dry too long. Okay, so there's my white one. I'm going to go ahead and paint them all. You will start to see the white one crack a little bit. I'm doing better with the orange one here, okay? I'm not putting as much paint on, trying to remember, don't have to slather that stuff on or it's going to, you know, it ain't gonna work, okay? So there's our orange, and I'm like, stop, stop, stop. Okay, here's our moss one. Yep, we're doing the same 3 colors that are on the other side. I didn't sand it down. I thought, hey, we got it on both sides. It'll give it a little back to front thing going on here, right? Okay, so here we are. Boom. See my white one starting to crack? Yep. See, it already started. I thought, okay, things are growing better. And here we go with the big gigantic cracks again. The green one I got pretty excited about, but you see the cracks in the green one or the moss, and the orange one, that's literally all it did. Like, that's it. Just a few cracks. So it ended up, actually, it's better on the first time than the second time. Yeah. Okay. So scrap take 2. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not going to put you through all that for a 3rd time. I'm going to take my sander. I'm going to sand these guys down. And here we go. This is what I ended up with. Okay. So we got our backside. This was the 3rd time I did this. Yes, that is a 3rd time to do the moss, the plaster and the orange. But you know what? It is what it is. It's Halloween decor. It's supposed to be kind of not the most prettiest thing, right? I guess. So yeah, and then I also kind of sanded it to get a lot of the lumps out. The white one doesn't look too bad. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead. I'm done. Third day, third time, I'm done. Like I said, I didn't put you all through that again because I didn't know if it was going to work, so I didn't record myself. And there you go. So, anywho, we're just going to take our little ghosty and put him on our moss one. We're going to take our little kitty cat, and I'm just using wood glue from the Dollar Tree because this stuff's amazing right here. And I'm going to set him on the orange and plaster white one there. And I'm making sure that his feet are lined up with the bottom of the pumpkin there. And then I put the tombstone on the orange one down there. Line him up with the bottom. Now we'll put our peduncles back in. And this one I put way too much glue and it oozed out all over the place. So I had to wipe quite a bit of that off. But my next two, I don't show you, but I used a little bit of less of the glue so I didn't make as much mess. Now here's these three little clip things that I had. Right? Okay. So we're going to do a little work on those. And y'all, if you like bloopers and it's your first time here, like, share it out, subscribe. Guys, I'm telling you, if you like just nothing but a film and flop of bloopers, you're at the right spot. Serena's Craft-nanigans Hot Mess Express is where it is. Okay, because you're about to see some more disasters coming at you. So we got 3 coats of white on that ghost. 2 coats of black on that bat. Now, my witch little clip here, I just used my paint markers. I was actually kind of a little bit happy with that because of my little bubbles. But anyway, so yeah. All right, isn't that cute? I made the little green bubbles. I pulled the one, I don't know if you could see it when I was yapping and all the words on the screen, but I pulled the one side of the clip off and the little metal part and just left the other part that was glued to the clip. I left it there because I wanted it lifted off the pumpkin. So I figured I just left that on instead of like trying to yank the whole thing off and put like a Jenga block or a little wood cube on the back just to give it some dimension. Anywho, to what I'm doing now, I got my little finger dauber and my walnut Tim Holtz distressing ink. Woo, me and Joanna, we love this walnut. I'm just going around the edges, around my peduncle, and then I also kind of smeared some on the fronts of them. That worked really good. And the reason I did all that was because of my little witch legs, because there was the brown edging around the outside, and it was too bright, so I used the ink on that as well. Now I'm just taking my paint markers and just gonna paint me a little ghosty face here. Isn't it cute? Isn't it cute? Yep. So I was pretty happy with that. But here comes the bat. Another epic fail is on the way, guys. Yeah, okay. Here's another one. I should have just went to a picture. I knew I could do the ghost. 3 circles. I could handle it. As far as the back goes, no, just wait for it. So I got 2 red dots for the eyes, and I tried to make him some fangs. Sorry, this didn't get as close up as I thought it did. And then I tried to put the mouth with the fangs, and Lord, y'all, seriously, I'm dying laughing right now because at this point, 3 days into this project, I'm like, what in the world is going on? This was supposed to be something quick, fast, and easy. And I'm sure for any of you guys, this will be quick, fast, and easy. It just wasn't for this hot mess engineer right here. Yeah. Okay, so I took my black marker and I just painted back over his mouth. We're not going to worry about fangs and a mouth. We're just going to give him 2 little eyeballs. Okay, taking my walnut distressing ink again and distressing my little ghost. Why I'm doing it to the bat, I have no idea because you can't see it. And just adding a little bit more there. And I wasn't happy that the clip was, you could see it between her legs. So yeah, I wasn't too happy about that. But, you know, we're going to glue these guys kind of up at the top. I figured the ghost was cute with the headstone and the bat with the ghost. And then the witch's legs with the cat because witchies have their kitty cats, right? I'm just going to put hot glue on the back of this, kind of filling in where the the metal clip thing was. I'm just gluing them on because this project probably will get dismantled and yeah, I don't know, guys. Anyway, so we're just going to glue these guys on there, stick them on. They're good to go. I put some distressing ink too on my little white ghost where his eyeballs and stuff are. You might be able to see it a little bit. And I really like the way that one turned out. I think the ghost one is my favorite one. But yeah, and then as I'm kind of just getting the glue strings off here, I'm realizing that I did not paint the back of my witch's feet. You know, I painted the back of my ghost and my bat, but not my witch's feet. So now I'm like, what the heck, dude? Man, I can't win. Oh, and then I forgot I had the hole in the top of the ghost head. So we're going to make her a cute little bow. I just tied a cute little finger bow, and I'm trimming it up. And then you're going to see some more hot mess because, you know, if you've been here, I like to play with fire. If this is your guys' first time, you got to stick around. I'm telling you, if you want a good laugh, here I am. Well, I burned this sucker way too much, and so I had to cut more off, and now I'm burning it again. Anyway, because I literally melted the ribbon because it's that gross grain, whatever, you know, that rigidy stuff. Yeah, okay. But it turned out cute. She's got a cute little bow, and now I'm getting the clumps of glue off because, yeah, way too much glue, right? Yep. And now I'm going to show you me cleaning up my mess. And then I decided my black cat needs something. I didn't want to use my paint marker and give him, like, white eyes or anything, and didn't know how well that worked. So we're going with some yellow googly eyes because who doesn't need some googly eyes, right? If you guys stick around, you'll see a little googly-eyed cat here at the end when I show you my little end screen thing. And I will also link the video to some projects I did last year, which were some of my favorite projects, and the people that did watch it really enjoyed it too. The video did not get many views, but there are two projects that I was pretty proud of. So if you guys want to see that with some more googly-eyed cats and a cute little gnome witch, hang around. I will have that linked down here at the end that you can hop on and check this out. This will be my first little Halloween video for you guys. I'm not going anything gory, crazy, nasty. I love Halloween. My oldest daughter's birthday is coming up October the 14th. So in October, it was always kind of a big celebration, and we always had Halloween themed Scooby-Doo, and as she got older, the friends would come over and we'd have pumpkin carving contests. And do you see the splatter paint? Yeah, well, that's because I was busy working on painting some other pumpkins white and black, and the ones I were painting white, these were just sitting at the back of the table, and I'm sure you could only imagine what I did while I was painting those pumpkins white, and these were sitting at the back of the table that I was working at. They got splattered. So I splattered them again. Sorry I forgot that footage, but you see the dome there and the I'm a Hot Mess pumpkin? I will link that video down here at the end, two of my favorite little things, and I'll show you how I made that gnome. I hope you guys enjoyed this Hot Mess Express today on this fabulous Sunday. You guys have a great week. I love you guys so much.